Surah Rahman is one of the most eloquent chapters of the Holy Quran. While people are captivated in the beauty of its words, or left in awe with the description of heaven and hell, they often overlook some profound truths revealed in this surah. Verse 24 in particular is interesting. It appears that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is emphasizing His favor of naval ships. The verse reads, وَلَهُ الْجَوَارِ الْمُنْشَآتُ فِي الْبَحْرِ كَالْأَعْلَامِ, and is often translated to Him belong the ships with raised sails, sailing through the seas like mountains. Also, and to Him belong the ships with sails, elevated in the sea like mountains. And also, His are the ships displayed upon the sea like banners. Pickthall. Let's see what the traditional commentaries have to say about this verse. Tafsir Ibn Kathir states this. This means they are like mountains with their great size, and it also refers to the trade and commercial services they make possible. Transporting cargo from one area to another, ships provide various benefits for people, including transporting different types of goods they need. Razi, Qurtubi, and Al-Tabari also seem to support the same interpretation. Even the modern Arabic commentary, Tafsir al-Sadi, holds the same view. All these commentaries allocate little paper space to this verse. It appears that since there are other verses of the Quran that support this interpretation, therefore these writers did not bother to investigate further. Two consecutive verses of Surah Ash-Shuara seem to form the basis of the classic interpretation. They state, and of His signs are the ships in the sea, like mountains. If He willed, He could still the wind, and they would remain motionless on its surface. Indeed, in that are signs for everyone patient and grateful. Quran chapter 42, verse 32-33. Verse 32 uses the same word, al-Jawar. The interesting thing is that the word wind is explicitly mentioned, which is not the case in Surah Rahman. There are other verses where Allah mentions His favor of ships for navigation. However, we note that the word al-Fulk is used in these verses and not al-Jawar. Al-Fulk is the same word used to describe the Ark of Noah al-Islam at other places. Now let's revisit verse 24 of Surah 55. The keywords of interest are al-Jawar, Munsha'at, and al-A'lam. The vast majority of English translations use the word mountains for al-A'lam, while a handful use banners or flags. The word Munsha'at is more interesting. Quran.com translates it to elevated. However, this word has the same root as insha'a, which means to produce or create. Ibn Kathir states this. According to Mujahid, whatever ship hoists a sail, it is from Munsha'at. If it does not hoist a sail, it is not from Munsha'at. Qatada said, Al-Munsha'at means created. Others said that it is Al-Munsha'at meaning launched. If you go by the consensus of the majority, the verse should translate to, His are the created ships in the oceans, like mountains. As an alternate to classic interpretations, I hereby hypothesize that this verse could be referring to icebergs, and not just sail ships. There are layers of truth in the Quran. It is possible that verse 24 of Surah Rahman is one of those verses where there is more than meets the eye. The Quran is the eternal truth. Without stressing that my interpretation is the absolute truth, I state a few arguments in favor of my theory. Sail ships were used for commercial navigation and transportation of goods till the early 19th century, when steam engines made them commercially unviable. Sail ships were at the mercy of the winds. Their real drawback is their inability to travel opposite to the direction of the wind. That is why sail ships often had to take long, circuitous paths. Today, sail ships have become relics of our past. Nowadays, commercial navigation is dependent entirely on diesel engines. The future may be electric, hydrogen, or nuclear. The largest sail ships ever made at the time they were commercially viable did not exceed 400 feet in length. Sail ships could be taller than they were long. Today's container ships are longer than 400 meters and higher than 70 meters. It appears that icebergs were not known to the Arabs when the Quran was revealed in the 7th century. Icebergs can be much longer and much taller than ships, formidable and imposing like mountains. The largest icebergs are present near the coast of Antarctica. In the year 2000, a 295-kilometer long iceberg was seen. Icebergs can be very tall, higher than 70 meters. There are similarities between mountains and icebergs. A significant portion is below the water level. similar to mountains that are packed deep into the Earth's surface. Icebergs are formed of fresh water. It appears they have a role in maintaining salinity levels in the ocean. Sea ice plays an important role in maintaining the Earth's energy balance, helping keep polar regions cool due to its ability to reflect more sunlight back into space. Sea ice also keeps air cool by forming an insulating barrier between the cold air above it and the warmer water below it. We are discovering new things about icebergs as a result of our interest in the effects of global warming. I would like to reiterate that I am merely presenting a hypothesis and not a conclusion. Feel free to share your opinion. Whatever the true meaning of the verse we discussed, it should not have any bearing on our iman that the Quran is the final revelation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you like this video, please subscribe and press that bell icon. We are reinventing the channel and working on lots of new ideas. So please make sure you keep watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.